In the comments from yesterday's video, one of the viewers made this comment, and I'm not going to get it exactly word for word, but the gist of it goes like this, that the modeler's gaze always tends to gravitate towards his mistakes. Well, I didn't notice that these little mushroom vents had sort of slumped over on me before the extra thin dried out, and they're not exactly straight here. Yeah, I just know that from now on, every time I look at the model, if I get it finished, and at the rate I'm going, people are probably wondering. However, I'm always going to see this. Well, at least I'm thinking that's what I'm always going to see. Now, they're not real crooked, and I'm afraid that if I was to try and straighten them, I might end up just breaking them off. And then I'm probably going to make a mess with the extra thin trying to get them to glue back on. But that's just kind of disappointing there. Okay, I was noticing that this little part that we did yesterday with the flat clear, it's a little bit blotchy, and I think what likely happened is when I was moving the clear around on this part, it dissolved the number 22 gray, and you can actually see, at least I'm seeing what I believe is plastic glinting through there, just to the top left of the ladder, or I guess it would be bottom left of the ladder here, because this is the top here. Anyway. More information than you need to know here. So the plan is I'm going to take my gray here and put on my bigger eyes and try and very carefully. Now this is already shaken. Just very almost dry brush it on here. At least that's the plan. Now, I'm hoping it's not going to run up on top of the ladder and make a mess. I'll put on the macro lens. And while I'm doing that, I want to explain why it is I did not use the airbrush yesterday. Now, I have mentioned this before. I can't remember how long ago it was I told this story, but it might have been in the model ship series, or it might have been way back in the big clock series. I can't remember. However, I do recall telling it before, but I'm sure there's some people that, will have not heard this story, and it's going to be new to them. Anyway, it goes like this. When I was a kid, my dad, he was a real adventurer. He had a lot of different things that he did, and one of them was he was a bush pilot in central Canada. And when I was a kid, I thought, oh my goodness, what a wonderful thing to do, just flying an airplane all over the place. Anyway, he said something to the effect of, well, it's fun at first, and then the novelty wears off, and it becomes a nuisance. Now, a few years later, I got my pilot's license, and I flew around a little bit. Not very much, but just enough to know what my dad was talking about. The novelty wears off. It becomes a nuisance. And any of you who've had anything to do with little airplanes, you know that for every hour you fly, you probably spend an awful lot more time, in fact, definitely a lot more time, just in the maintenance and worrying and all that kind of stuff. Now, granted, I was with a flying club, so I didn't have the worry that my dad had. However, the bottom line is, yeah, the airbrush was fun at first, but the novelty has worn off, and now it's sort of a nuisance. It's a bother, and it's easier to just, pick up a little paintbrush and open the jar and, put the paint on. It's much easier. Now, I will admit, it does not do as nice a job. Now I realize that I'm going to have to touch up my touch-up. It never ends. But that's part of the fun. So why is it then for me cleaning up after the airbrush is not fun? Okay, you probably noticed, because if I noticed it, so did you, that on the top of the rail there, I got a little bit of the 22 gray. But I can't see it unless I've got my real strong glasses on. But this right here that I'm touching right now, I can see. And I also can see what appears to be like fingerprints. Now, I gave this entire top 2 coats. It's fairly good. I'm going to just see if I can just very, very lightly here now go over it again, give it a 3rd coat, or is it going to end up running down the sides and I'm going to have to redo the 22. Okay, I'm going to turn this just a little bit here. Now, maybe I could do it just a little bit more because I want to be able to pull off the edge like that. Okay, let's quit while the quitting's good. I think that'll look alright once it's dry. It'll sort of flatten out. Okay, now we've got to get the flat clear on these 2 pieces here. Where is it? Here it is. And I don't think the rotator, though, is the thing to do it on. I think, once again, I'll stick them on the end of the wooden dowel and just sort of lay them over on their side. I'll be able to manipulate them a lot better. At least that's the plan. Now, I was about to start on this one here, but there are 2 places, 2 areas that really bother me where I can actually see plastic, the bare plastic, right here and right up here. And if I can see them with just my ordinary reading glasses, well, may as well see if I can do something about it. Yeah, I do remember when I was editing yesterday seeing this and thinking, oh, I should have just put a little bit, flooded it on just a little bit better. So I'm just going to fix that. It won't take long to dry. I'll use the heat gun, and I do believe we should be able to do our clear today yet. The afternoon is getting on. I was doing other things today as well. Okay, let's just check that now. No, I'm not seeing anything. I think it's dry. Now, as I'm watching myself do this now, I know what people are getting ready to comment, because you're going to be seeing it too. And you're going to be wanting to say, hey, Ron, why don't you just dip it in the paint jar already if you want it that thick? Well, let's wait and see what happens after it's dry before we make our comments. Yeah, I'll admit it. I put it on too heavy. Story of my life. No, I don't want to touch the sides with my fingers. All right, now that should still be in focus. Got to put on my stronger glasses here. Oh, thank goodness, I can hear the music starting. I don't think I can take much more of watching this painting by fire hose. Wonder what this is right here. Is that flashing that I missed? Or was that supposed to be on there? I think that's flashing. Well, not much I can do about it now, I guess. Okay, I do believe when this dries, it's gonna be okay. Hope it's not gonna be all blotchy. Well, I guess we'll soon know. Well, I guess it won't be soon, because this video has had it. Thanks for watching. All being well, we'll see you tomorrow.